Oh, Lord. Hi, everyone. Okay, welcome to our first Team Live Your Dream call. This is exciting. I know we've done other calls, kind of impromptu before, but this is our first official team call, so I'm excited. I'm going to just really quickly, I'm going to try to get this meeting done in a half an hour, but I'm going to go over the 3 vital behaviors. Some people are, have been coaches for a few months, and, Brian, you're really new. So I think for me, it's just even really important for me to hear about it every so often. And I'm going to go into it a little more in depth too. So if you have pen and paper or something to write on, I'm going to get and kind of give you guys some little assignments, I guess. I'm not going to keep track of you, but it's just kind of things you can do once you hear the info, and it'll just be good to grow your business. So basically, the 3 vital behaviors are probably, it's the glue that keeps coaches together. It's if you're not going to do anything else in your business, this is what you're going to do. And a lot of people describe the 3 vital behaviors as the first one is invite, second one is be proof of the product, and the third one is personal development. And since I've become a coach, I've heard people reverse that, and I like to reverse it myself because I think that personal development is number one. As a coach, I think that getting your mind right, like growing yourself as a person, being like mentally strong and knowing who you are and growing past your mental barriers is like the number one thing that people have to do in their life to be able to be successful at anything, whether you're a parent or a business person or whatever. So personal development is number one. And what personal development means is just you're doing things daily to spur your growth, your personal growth, whether that's reading books, listening to audiobooks, being on these team calls is part of your personal development, podcasts, all of those things, seminars, whatever, and your own research on Beachbody, Shakeology, learning more about health and fitness and nutrition and that kind of thing. It's all personal development, and it'll all help you in your business. So every leader needs to gain knowledge. You're not going to grow as a leader if you're not growing as an individual. And one of the things, whether you grow a team or not, which I encourage every single coach to grow their team, but whether you grow your team or not, you are a leader as a Beachbody coach. People are looking to you for help with their health and nutrition. They're looking to you for influence. They're looking to you for motivation in their lives. And once you become a coach, you become a leader. And I feel like all of you were leaders, even before becoming coaches. Like, I've seen your guys' posts, and you guys are outspoken people who stand up for things that you believe in. And that's leadership. You have influence on people. But every leader needs to grow as a human being. So one of the things that we struggle with is limiting beliefs. We all have limiting beliefs that keep us from progressing to where we need to be. So they could be things like, I don't talk well with other people, or I'm shy, or I'm too anxious when it comes to social situations, or things like that. Hi, Larry. But those belief systems have been ingrained in us from, childhood, honestly. And those belief systems will limit us in our lives, in our business, in our parenting, in our personal relationships, everything, if we're not careful. And one of the things that personal development does is it like, think of that limiting belief as like a cement wall, and that, that book or that tape or whatever is that bulldozer, and it's like crushing that cement wall. And that's what personal development does. It knocks down all of those limiting beliefs that we have about ourselves so that we can be the best people that we can be, best leaders we can be. You're always going to have fears, insecurities. This is going to be scary at times to talk to people, to reach out to people, to connect with people. But doing personal development every day strengthens us and teaches us that we have nothing to be scared of. Because if we're being genuine and we're just being ourselves, then we have nothing to be scared of. And the people who see that will appreciate it, and the people who don't see that, they've got their own issues. And I've had to learn to realize that. But the only way I've realized that is through personal development. If you want your business to grow, you have to grow as a person. And that's what personal development does. Also, you will attract who you are. So like attract likes, right? Like attracts like. So the better you become as a person, the more you develop as a person, you're going to attract people who are that same way. When we have unhealthy behaviors and habits and that kind of stuff, and I'm sure you see it with your friends who are unhealthy, like mentally, they have friends, a ton of friends who are also unhealthy mentally as well. And, maybe live a lifestyle that isn't like benefiting them. It's not like helping them at all. So that's just the thing. When we do our personal development, we're going to grow into better leaders. We're going to become better people, and we're going to attract better people. And that's who we want around us. We want people who are working towards growth and who are, trying to better themselves. We want those kind of people around us. And so we'll attract that when we become that. So my call to action for you guys with that one, I would make personal development, and I struggle with this too, but I try to get up first thing in the morning. When I get up, I try to pick up a book. I love audio personal development. It's easier for me to listen to a book than it is to read one. But when I first wake up, I don't really want to stick in my earphones and listen to somebody talk because I'm really annoyed and like pissed off that I'm getting up. So I pick up a book and I just sit there and read for 10 or 15 minutes, read through a chapter or whatever, and, get my mind right for the day, and then move on with my day. So take 15 minutes of your day. If it's not in the morning, that's okay. I think that's preferable, but take 15 minutes out of your day and do something that feeds your mind, whether it's a podcast or whatever. So I have a bunch of recommendations. So these are books that I've read, and I love them. They're so good. You Are a Badass, of course. Anything by John C. Maxwell. He's a really great speaker on leadership. So he's written a lot of books on leadership. And, he's very big on leadership is about influence. It's not necessarily about a position. You can be in a high position but still be a crappy leader. Slight Edge is another good book. Compound Effect. The Secret. I love that one. That one was kind of what started me on my law of attraction spiritual journey. Chalene Johnson's podcasts, I just started listening to those. I know Carrie listens to those a lot. Woo. They're really good for business ideas. Chalene Johnson's very she just wants to help entrepreneurs grow their business. So she has a lot of great podcasts for that. Team Beachbody has a podcast, a series of podcasts. also, if you miss the National Wake Up Call, Team Beachbody podcasts have all of the national wake up calls on it. Team meetings are definitely a part of your personal development, and like things like Super Saturdays. We just had a Super Saturday a couple weekends ago. Carrie went with me, and we get to hear awesome speakers speak, you know, live, and they give us a ton of awesome information. And by the end of, you know, the 4 hours or however long we were there, 8 hours, you're pumped, you know, like you have all this good info and you're ready to go. And then anything else, you know, self-help wise, business seminars, self-help seminars, anything to do with mindset, you know, it's all good. So second vital behavior is be proof that the product works. This is so important for your business because you're not going to get very far if you aren't showing people that you're proof that the product works. And what I mean by that is it's not that you have to lose a ton of weight and all of a sudden have this banging body and like everyone's like, oh my gosh, you just lost all this weight and so now I'm going to believe you. Being proof that the product works means that you are showing up every day on social media, posting your workout pictures, posting your Shakeology pictures, and showing people that you're living this lifestyle. Because our goal as coaches is to we're not going to be the typical salespeople. That's not what we're here for. Yeah, we want to grow a business. Yeah, we want to work from home. We want to be entrepreneurs and that kind of thing. But we're not like, you know, shifty salesmen. We're not like car salesmen that are just going to like beat down your door to like sell you something. We're really trying to help people. And so when we share on social media our journey, we share our workout pictures, we talk about Shakeology, how we love it, how it's helping us, what our workouts are doing in our life, what coaching is doing in our life. Sharing this every single day is going to first build your reputation as a coach. Second, it's going to give exposure to the products. And third, it's just going to prove that like you're not just a salesperson. You're actually living this lifestyle and it's working for you. And people are going to want to follow you when they know that you're doing what you're preaching, you know. You can't tell other people to do something that you're not doing yourself, basically. So yeah, make your posts part of your to-do list every single day. Make your workout posts, your Shakeology posts, your coaching posts, those kinds of things. That needs to be part of your daily to-do list because that's the only way you're going to gain exposure as a coach. And people need to see you. People need to see that you're genuine. People need to see that you're in this. Now, side note on that, I can almost guarantee you that you will probably not get very many responses at first. Sometimes people get a lot of response at first, and you know, a coach jumps right into the business and like all of a sudden, you know, they get like 20 comments and people are so interested in what they're doing and people are going crazy and liking your posts and everything like that. That's not the norm, okay? The norm is like you're going to hear crickets for like a couple months until people see that you are actually walking the talk, until people actually see like, is this person really going to do this? Is this person actually like going to do what they say they're going to do? And I can show you, you know, you're going to see other coaches post and you're going to see people just, you know, throwing out their emails, you know, on their posts. And it's don't compare yourself to them because those people, you know, they're probably 2 years down the road and they've built their way up to getting that type of response on social media. But I can guarantee you, if they showed you their timeline from 2 years ago when they first started as a coach, they would have maybe 1 like and like no comments on anything for a long time. So don't get discouraged if you don't see people engaging with you. Don't just post a couple times and no one engages with you and then give up because you're like, well, that didn't work. It's going to take time and consistency, people seeing you over and over and over and over again on social media. Now, one of the fears we have is people are going to get annoyed of me posting so much, whatever. They can deal with it. Like, that's how I've started to look at it. Yes, they can deal with it because honestly, there's so many people that are going to love your posts. There's so many people that are going to be inspired by your posts, and there's so many people that are going to be helped. And the people who are annoyed have their own issues, and they, you know, it's whatever. That's their problem. And I've just started to realize that. You know, obviously we don't want to like cover our timelines consistently with Beachbody. We want to share our lives, still share about, you know, your, yeah, good point, Carrie. I'll share that in a second. Share your family, you know, share your events that you go to, share like, you know, what you're eating, share, you know, your cat or your dog or your whatever, like share your life with people. You don't you're not just Beachbody, you're you. And something I love and I've always loved is, you know, stuff with mindset, you know, and talking to people about their mindset. And that was something I did a lot before I became a coach, and I still try to do it now, but it's gone down and I need to start it again. But people loved it. It was very motivating for them to see me post about your mindset and how to grow and that kind of thing as a person. Carrie brought up a good point. So, like, people are only going to see a fraction of the things you post. So even if you post like 5 times a day, you know, people may only see one of those posts at a time. So it's okay if you're kind of filling the timeline or whatever. But fill it with you, you know, parts of you. You don't have to fill it all with Beachbody, but do post your workouts and Shakeology and that kind of stuff. Posting is scary for a lot of people if you're not used to it. And it's very vulnerable. And the more you learn, the more you're going to realize that the more vulnerable you are in your posts, the more you share your life, the more you share your story, even just little bits of your story. It doesn't need to be like, here's a post of my entire life, you know, but share little snippets of your story of who you are with people as you post. The more you do that, I know it's scary, but the more you do that, the more people are going to feel connected to you, and the more they're going to receive help from you, okay? So, call to action for that one, go to my page, or to, if you have other coaches that you follow, if you follow Lauren or Emma Owen or Alexa Luckenbach, go to their pages and see how they post. Like, look at their, you know, the posts that they make just about their life. Look at the posts they make about coaching. Look at the posts they make about their workouts. See how they share their stories and how they incorporate it into Beachbody. They've been doing this for a while now, so it's like, it flows very well for them now. And I'm sure at first it did not flow like that. But, you know, if you're just starting out, just post. You'll get the hang of it more as you go, and you'll get better and better and better. And 2 years down the road, you'll look back at your, you know, first initial post and be like, oh, look at that post. That was so funny that I did that or whatever. But it's where you started, and that's okay. Like, we all have a starting point, and you can't let fear hold you back from doing it. You know, you're going to learn along the way, and you're going to make mistakes, and you have to learn from making mistakes. So last vital behavior, the third vital behavior, is invite, or I like to call it connect. So a lot of times, so posting and sharing is just kind of one aspect of, building a customer client base or exposing Beachbody or, that kind of thing. The next level of that is inviting. We need to talk with people. We need to invite people to our challenge groups. If you don't have challenge groups, you can invite them to my challenge group, or I'd like to call it our team challenge group, because that's what I developed it for, was for our team to be able to place people in it. But you need to step out of your comfort zone and start inviting people to try these products and to invite them to challenge groups. You don't need to necessarily say something like, hey, I was wondering if you wanted to buy a program. It doesn't need to be like that. It just needs to be something like what I did recently was I sent out invites and said, hey, I'm, getting my fitness accountability group ready on Facebook. It's starting on August 31st. Would you be interested in being in it? And if they said yes, then they would give me their email. And I have an email on the team page, if anybody would like to see it. I have an email on the team page that tells them about the challenge group, tells them about the programs, gives them pricing, helps them discover their why and why they want to get fit. And then we can go from there once they read that email. So inviting can be probably the scariest part. Inviting is the scariest part for me. I would much rather be passive and just like throw stuff on Facebook all day long, post and post and post. But when it comes to invites, I'm freaking out inside, and I'm like shaking as I'm like sending that invite to somebody through the messenger. It's scary. Like, what it comes down to is we're scared of rejection. And that's why the personal development is really important, you guys, because we have to overcome that fear. So what if somebody says no? Then they say no. Like, there's nothing to lose, honestly. And a lot of people fear losing relationships and that kind of thing. But you know what? If you're genuine and you're being you, then people are going to receive you. Just be you. Be genuine. People will receive you. If they say no, they say no. That just means not yet, okay? I'm sure a lot of you said no to me at first. I'm pretty sure you did. But now look at you. You're here. So I want you guys to start, inviting people to challenge groups. We have a challenge group coming up on the 31st. This challenge group is open to anyone doing any program. And our first initial, priority is to obviously get them a program, a challenge pack. So it's going to be a program with Shakeology. If they say no to that, then we can offer them the club membership, and it's free for the first 30 days, and then $40 after that, every 3 months. And in the club membership, they can do Beachbody on demand, which they can stream like a whole library of workout programs from their computer. So it's only $40 every 3 months, which is like $2.99 per week. And they can get pretty much all of the workout programs on their computer. And if they still say no, let's put them in the group anyways. And they can get help from us. We want to offer help. When they're in the group, they're going to see people drinking Shakeology. They're going to see people doing the programs. And most likely they're going to get interested. So that's kind of how the challenge group is going to run. And if you want more information on it, or like want it to be broken down more for you, then we can talk, together personally, one-on-one. So here's another way to connect with people on Facebook. So a lot of us, you know, before we became coaches, we used to just kind of like scroll Facebook just mindlessly, like, oh, I wonder what so-and-so is doing today, and look at her post, and it's her dog and her food, and wow, okay. So now we want to scroll intentionally. So as you're scrolling your news feed, engage with people, comment on their things, like their posts. Even if you don't feel like talking to them, talk to them. You know, like start building relationships kind of that way, and get yourself out there, you know, familiarity with people by engaging with them on posts. People need to see you care. People need to see that you're genuine and that you're like a real person, and that you're not just this like, I don't know, crazy like beach body fitness person. Hey, kitty butt. All right, so here's kind of the how-tos like with invites. So create an invite template. So what I mean by that is, and I would recommend all of you use Google Docs if you aren't using it already, but use Google Docs. It's a free thing from Google. You can, you have all these documents, and you can just like, it's kind of like Word, and you can save all your documents or whatever. But create a template for your invites, whether you're inviting to a challenge group or a sneak peek week, which is also coming up. And you'll send that out to everyone. You know, make it personal. Be like, hey, you, how are you doing? Like, just wanted to invite you to this group coming up. I hope you're doing well. And then record the people who you invite it's called Google Sheets. And you can document, it's like an Excel. It looks like an Excel spreadsheet. You can document your invites on Google Sheets. Pick a number of people every single day that you want to invite to a challenge group and that you want to invite to Sneak Peek Week. Sneak Peek Week, by the way, is on the 17th. And it's just basically for people who want to know more about coaching but aren't sure if they want to take the plunge yet. And they'll get some videos and stuff to watch about coaching. So here's the third way to connect and invite. So our network of people isn't just limited to people we know. A lot of people don't want to be a coach because they say, oh my gosh, I only have like 100 friends. I don't know very many people. Well, we are in a business now, and business people expand their network through certain forms, okay? One of the ways you can do that, super simple, just invite friend request 3 new people a day. Go through your friends that you have, see who their mutual friends are. And, you know, when I first started out, I just friend requested like mutual friends of my friends that I knew. They were like acquaintances in junior high and high school. Now I'm just like, well, look at their thing, and I'm like, oh, you have 4 mutual friends? I don't know you. I'll friend request you. And I just don't care anymore. I just start friend requesting people. It doesn't matter. And people like accept my friend requests most of the time. So remember this. It's not about who you know. It's about who you're going to meet. Okay? That's key. A lot of the times it's really hard. It's actually harder to try to talk to people who you know personally, you know, about all of this, because you don't want to ruin friendships. You don't want things to get weird, right? It's so much easier to talk to strangers. If they reject you, then you don't really care because you're like, well, I don't know you anyways, so bye. But that's okay. Like, even if you're friends till you know, just continue to be friends with them. You know, don't feel like you need to pressure them to buy anything after they tell you no. Just continue a friendship. It's okay. But friend request 3 people a day. I'm going to tell you to take your Facebook off of private and your Instagram also off of private. and make it public. If you have posts that you do not want the public to see, you can go into that individual post and make that post specifically private. If you post a picture of your kid, you don't want the world to see it, you can make that post private and only your friends can see it. So it's just about gaining exposure now as a coach and growing your network so you can reach more people. And that's what we're about, honestly, is we're about like reaching as many people as we possibly can to help them. You know, the coolest thing in this business is like not the income, honestly. It's about like having somebody message you or email you saying, oh my gosh, I've lost, you know, like 20 pounds and I feel better than I ever have in my entire life. And I'm happier and my husband and I are happier and my entire family is eating well. Like, that is the most fulfilling part of this business, and that's what we're trying to do. So, and you're not going to be able to reach as many people if we don't get ourselves out there, you know, and send those invites and do those friend requests. Instagram, take your Instagram off private and start using hashtags to kind of get your market. We can do another call at some point about Instagram and hashtagging and that kind of stuff, but I want to end this, my part anyways, and then just kind of like open it up for questions if you guys have questions. So if you guys have questions, feel free to unmute yourself. Anyone? Carrie.
No, it wasn't a question. You were talking about the best feelings. It was good to feel somebody tell me, like, randomly.
Yeah.
That I was thanking me for always being the positive person in their newsfeed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She just thanked me. She was like, you're always, no matter what. She's like, I scroll through and everybody's angry and talking about their drama in their life, and then there's you telling me to get over it and be happy.
No, totally. And I think, like, if anything, you know, because sometimes we worry about posting too much or are we going to annoy people. You know what's annoying is people who are posting negative shit all the time. That's what's annoying, you know? So, like, we can be a bright light to Facebook. Like, we can be those people who are posting positivity and growth and health and like love, you know, like we don't have to. As a coach, I switched, you know, a lot of things that I post. Like, I was never a huge like negative poster in general, but you know, if I had a shitty day, like sometimes I have shitty days, but even if I posted about it now, I'm going to add an upswing to it, or I'm going to, like, you know, add something in, like, you know, I've had a rough day or whatever, but my Beachbody community is so there for me and I'm grateful, you know. So people can see that you're not just like complaining all the time or whatever. And none of you guys, I've never seen you guys do that. So, but people do that a lot, and they just complain and like bitch and moan on Facebook all the time. And we need to like be those people that can add some positivity into their newsfeed, you know?
I just try never, ever to, even if I had a bad day, it doesn't mean one good thing didn't happen.
No, like, sure. Totally.
Man, terrible day, but this peach tastes amazing. I don't
It's awesome, right? That's exactly it. That's perfect. Like, even if you post about your peach, you know, like, I don't care. Just it's about putting yourself out there and showing who you are, not just as a Beachbody coach, but as a person. And we're going to attract our tribe, you know, people like us. And honestly, all of you guys are like-minded with me, and that's why you guys are on my team, because I attracted you to me, which sounds weird, but it's true. Like, like attracts like, and you guys aren't in my sphere of people for no reason. You know, there's a purpose for it. So Amy Silverman is a really good example for that. She is probably the most like genuine Beachbody coach I know, and she's like tatted up, and she like had her hair purple, and she just wears it whatever the hell she wants and does whatever she wants, and you know, she's got her like plugs in, and she attracts people who are kind of like, you know, rebels in a sense, people who are in that same like mindset. She dealt with drug addiction and severe like depression and insecurities and stuff for a long time, and so she attracts other people who had that kind of story. So your story is important, your likes, interests, what you're into is important, and so that's just something to like put out there into the social media community, is just present who you are, you know, Beachbody and all.
Someone described her, was it at Summit, when they said that she is unapologetically herself and doesn't care.
Yes, definitely. And that's the kind of people that she attracts, which is really cool. And that's who I am, and that's who I feel like you guys are. You guys are just you. You don't really like apologize for being you, and that's who I want my team to be. You know, that's who I want on my team. So I appreciate it. All right. Any more questions? No, before I let you guys go? Okay, I'm going to stop the recording. Thanks for being here, you guys. I'm going to stop the recording, and then we can talk a little bit more if you want. Stop.